Tonight's story is entitled Better Than Sex. Dear friends, I'm sorry for the mass email, but I felt it was important to get in touch with all of you to clear something up. Over the years, I've used the term better than sex on numerous occasions. In fact, I've probably used that term even more often than the average person, probably due to my particular circumstances. Anyway, it seems that on many, if not all, of those occasions, I was a bit off base and didn't quite understand what I was saying. Let me see if I can explain. After my recent breakup with Cheryl, I was lucky enough to have sex with several other women. And after those very enlightening experiences, I have come to understand just how misguided I was all of those times when I described things as better than sex. First of all, if you didn't know, Cheryl was the first woman I had ever had sex with. I was happy to have sex with her, and it was pretty good as far as I could tell. Of course, I didn't really have anything to compare it to, and I believe those were my difficulties with the expression may have started. When I said to more than a few of you that living in New Jersey was better than sex, I was not lying. Technically it was, given what I knew at the time. But after having sex with Tamara and Roxanne, I could see how that statement was grossly inaccurate and even ridiculous. I can now confidently say that living in New Jersey is not better than sex. It's not even in the same ballpark as sex. Mark, you might remember the time when we were camping and I described the rice cake I was eating as better than sex. You looked puzzled and said I was crazy. I had said that you were crazy. I was insistent. Well, Mark, I now see your point and I stand corrected, very corrected. I can now say that rice cake, or anything I've ever eaten in my life for that matter, was not better than sex, thanks to my experience with Venus. By the way, this also applies to when I described both the bird's nest we found on our hike and our canoe as better than sex. Again, my experience with Cheryl kind of set the bar a little low, and I didn't know what I was saying. When I started to think about it, I realized that there were many things that I inaccurately described as better than sex over the years. Some that I can remember include air conditioning, finding a good parking spot, new carpeting, sitting down, an adjustable baseball hat, not being stuck in traffic, Tim's one-man show, using my new scanner, wheat thins, killing a fly that had been bothering me, and not having sex. While each of these was technically better than sex at the time, they're really only better than sex with Cheryl. Some of you may recall my tendency to use the term worse than sex. Again, please understand that I did not know any better. Given my experience, it seemed like a good barometer to use. So for example, when I said, during that 12-day stretch of rain we had last year, that this weather is worse than sex, I believed I was making a good point. Similarly, when I described getting the flu, going to the dentist, and having to refinish my basement as all worse than sex, I was being truthful. Of course, now I realize that pretty much everything is worse than sex. I feel silly about even making that sort of comparison. Thankfully, after having sex with so many wonderful, adventurous, creative, and flexible women who were not Cheryl, I can see how very, very wrong I was in the past. I hope that clears things up and that all of you can understand where I was coming from. And Cheryl, if you're reading this, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great, though not better than sex. Yeah, but in your case, isn't eating oranges in the shower considered in that category? It was good. And that was an awesome night. Oh, it was such a good night. Thank you all for coming out. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow to kick Sans ass. And I very much look forward to it. Thank you all for coming out. We really do have the best community on Twitch, and I truly believe that. That's right, Space. Good night, Mora. I will miss you all for the next 21 hours, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. I hate you all. The sunset heart ends. Good night, Orange, Abby, Cade, H's, Connor, Space, Ariana, Connor. Good night, guys.